now delivering in 10 minutes.
Well, it's a great day. It's a great day for people on the internet to come to this channel and laugh at us. And you know what? It's only fair. It's only fair, Pezza. We, over the course of many years, let alone this World Cup, have laughed at other teams. And now it's their turn to come to us and saying, ha ha, fuck you. And you know what? That's only fair. So welcome, click subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get near or close to 300,000 subscribers here on the channel. So please do as the screen is telling you to do. Oh. And click the fucking button. I'm Geppetto. I've gone a bit mental. Australia's nearly out. I'm a real boy.
If only people knew.
If only they knew.
Yeah, life is in yin and yang, he goes.
How you feeling, brother?
Hey, bro, that's a trap. That question is a trap.
It's a trap.
Right?
It's a trap.
I know what people want me to be feeling.
Yeah.
And if this is showbiz, or is it? You know, like, do I want to tell people how I'm authentically feeling? Because if I say, like, you know, look, I'll move on. I'm going to Origin tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I'll be okay. People are like, salty Pezza. Been crying all morning in the shower with a tangerine in your mouth, a belt around your neck, cry wanking together with your friend Higgins. That's why this video's late. Now, if I say that I've been crying all morning in the shower with a belt around my neck and a tangerine in my mouth with my mate Higgins, mutually masturbating, cry wanking, people will be like, I knew it. That's right. See, revenge is a dish best served cold for Ahmedabad. Here we go. It's done. Everything is now in alignment. I'm not going to tell you how I feel, but I'm just going to feel however people want me to feel. Fuck, there's a lot of words for a bloke who's salty. What I do want to say, he goes,
what do you want to say?
After this result,
I
don't know if it's an Australian expression. It may be a global expression, but it's very simple. And I think you were alluding to this earlier. Take your licks. Aussies this morning are taking licks. Licks must be taken.
Take your licks.
India outplays Australia, better team than Australia, better in these conditions, pretty much in all facets, better batting at the top, better spin. Licks must be taken. We have delivered licks to others in the past, and now we must receive licks. And I receive them fully, wholeheartedly, like a fucking tongue to a cane toad. Fuck me, a tongue to a cane toad. That is me and Australians this morning. Congratulations, India. Congratulations, online. Congratulations, Mother Cricket subscribers. It's all yours this morning, baby.
India made 205 for 5 in the first innings, and Australia fell 24 cricket runs short, finishing 181 for 7 off their 20 overs. They were in it for a bit, were they? Yeah, they were probably in it for a bit, and then they weren't at the end. Let's talk about the first thing today, Pezza, and that is brilliant hitman, the big bear with the big railway sleeper. Mate, what an innings. 92 of 41, 7 fours, 8 sixes, struck him at 224.39, always round up to the nearest 225. I think it's the best innings of the tournament so far. We've been talking about through the course of the World Cup. They're like, it's very unlike the IPL from what we've just seen in that no opener, whilst openers have scored runs, no openers like got away to like this blistering start where they've essentially like won the game in the power play sort of thing. Now Rohit, like India outplayed Australia in many facets. Probably wasn't just one thing, but the way Rohit struck the ball today, it was just, Rohit was on one today.
Yep.
He was on one. He took Stark down for 29 in Stark's second over. Credit to Stark, who did come back in his last 2 overs and bowl pretty well, eventually getting Rohit. But the 92 of 41 with the 8 sixes, he was leaning back. There was an arch to the spine. There was an arc to the blade. The slog sweep off Cummins, off speed. Cummins' first ball, 110 Ks. Might as well have been 110 miles away after he launched that ball onto the stadium roof.
I'm just the hype man for you.
It's like waving a towel like you're on the NBA bench. There was a launch over cover from Stoinis. There was a lot of leg side play, but it was imperious. Rohit today, or last night, the hitman, the big bear, he was just on one. He was on one.
It's the big old bear. Many will say it's the difference in the game because of 24 cricket runs. He has the innings that counts. I think there were some other differences in the game as well. But what I liked about it was we saw like an IPL-style match for the first time really in the tournament. He stepped up. I caught a comment of his in one of the previous games where he mentioned that he, tries to score as many runs off as few balls as possible as a matter of support for the team. Like that he, unlike I guess, the traditional Indian opening bat or top order bat who prides themselves on like bulk runs next to their names, which is fine. He's basically saying like he puts himself second in service of the team, trying to score runs quickly. Today it comes off in a perverse way. There's a selflessness to it, and today he gets the rewards for it, and he puts a big gap between India and Australia where. To me, though Australia looked good at different phases in the second innings, it was too much to overcome against the expertise of their dual spinners of Axar and Kuldeep. Jadeja, I don't know, as well as Bumrah. You know, it's a huge shout out to the Bear. Normally, when he plays his strokes, it's kind of you're talking about purity, you're talking about elegance, you're talking about stuff out of the art of cricket, down the ground, pull shot. But this was violence from Rohit today. This is a guy locked in. And again, I know I've been saying it all tournament. If I'm an Indian fan, I know he's had some scores at the start of the tournament, but now Rohit has joined the party. Other players have. Now the Big Bear's joined in. He made sure that India put Australia right on the precipice. I don't think anything else could happen in another game that gets Australia through. I think it's done. I think it's game, set, match from that perspective. The Indian fandom can just rejoice in their captain knocking Australia out of the tournament, kicking up the bum, revenge dish best, serve cold. Congratulations, Rohit. He 50 off 19. Locked in, takes Zampa down, results.
Shout out to Josh Hazlewood, who finished 1 for 14 off his 4 overs. Compare that to the other bowlers: Stark 45, Cummins 48, Zampa 41, Stoinis 56. Great effort from Hazlewood, who didn't have a great game last time out against Afghanistan. You would say picked up Kohli in the 5th ball, Kohli for a duck. Unfortunately for him, Sky 31 of 16, continued the innings nicely along, and then Hardik finished it off 27 off 17, including a 6-over cover off, I want to say, Stoinis, I think it might have been, where he did a 360.
Starting to pull the tricks out. Another good thing to see for Indian fans as well, just Hardik.
Cock tricks.
Cock tricks, that's Hardik's cricket version of a cock trick.
Cock trick,
and it's a good cock trick. People in dressing rooms sitting around, having a look at it. Hey, Hardik's doing his cock trick again.
What's that over there?
That's when he hits that 1 over extra cover where he does a 360 pirouette afterwards. He's expressing himself, and that's the Hardik we've come to know and love.
What time is it? Wristwatch.
The old wristwatch, that's what it was.
Okay, so start of the Australia batting innings, Arshdeep Singh had David Warner caught by Suryakumar Yadav at first slip, where he took the catch and then did something for the cameras afterwards, 3 or 4 steps later, then tumbled, making it seem like an absolute specky. Travis Head and Mitchell Marsh put on 81 in about 7 overs in that time, and that's what I want to come to for today's What Now, Get Now, brought to you by friends at Big Basket Now. Pez, shout out to Big Basket Now. Shout out to Big Basket Now. Haven't they been good to us? They've been really good to us. They've been good to the channel. People have enjoyed seeing the jump scare of Virat Kohli on our clips on social media. So shout out to Big Basket Now, the boys, the girls, the ladies, the men.
Backed us the whole way, Big Basket Now. Like, not getting in the row, going, you got to say this, got to say that. Just letting us do what we do. If you want to do a shout out to Big Basket Now in the comments, like, please do. Keep them separate from the vitriol that will be coming our way. And you're free to do that as well. I'll defend your right to just deliver licks to us at all costs and times.
Just give it to us.
But Big Basket, they're backing us to do that.
Exactly right. So Mitchell Marsh it's the first ball, it's the last ball of Kuldeep Yadav's first over. He gets a ball back of a length. I don't want to say it's a half tracker, but he gets a back of a length delivery. Mitchell Marsh squats down and he swings it behind square to the leg side. He heaves it
with the full weight of the bicep.
With a heaving breast.
Yes.
Muscles it over in that direction. It's in the exact alignment of Axar Patel, who's about 3 to 4 meters perhaps off the rope. He jumps, he leaps up there Kazali styles.
Salmon.
And up the Swans playing well this year in the AFL. That's what the country's watching here. And he leaps to his absolute maximum potential. His Axar potential.
Yes.
And then it just slams into the right mitt there. And he plucks it like a tennis ball into a Velcro thing, like that game you get as a kid.
Ball.
A grip ball, yeah. And he takes an absolute screamer. It just changed the trajectory of the innings, no doubt. Marsh was playing, unfortunately, I would say for him, the innings of the tournament for him so far, 37 off 28, 2 6s and 3 4s, just getting going. He gets a ball that he would definitely like to have launched 100 metres into the night sky, or the day sky rather. But Axar Patel pulls off an absolute screamer. And then 3 balls later, completely misses a ball that bounces to him quite comfortably. So, swings and roundabouts, just one of those days.
Which in turn, to his expertise, highlights the excellence of the catch as well.
Done us there.
What he can do. Yeah. What a great cricketer Axar Patel is.
Genius.
His relationship with catching. The love affair, Harsha might say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, shout out to India there. We've talked about fielding window to the sole gear. I know he misses that ball later on, but like that, they're the kind of catches upon which matches swing. It's a cliche to say it. He takes that catch. With respect to Mitch Marsh, he drops Hardick before, who ends up hitting a couple of sixes. You know, it's unfair to ever pick out one different thing that happens. It's the cumulative effect of all these things. Australia's slop in the field, largely for the tournament, has been slop. I don't think it's, I could look guys in the eye and say it was slop by Australian standards.
Boys, slop.
Right, yeah, that's all the way from grade level up. Salt in the eyes, tears, etc. India, fantastic catching. You don't take those catches unless the team's together. It's good gear for them. Axar, shout out.
Mate, what about Australia in this tournament? They must have dropped. It must be nearly 10 catches. None of them are well. So I think about absolute sitters. There's been quite a few which really should have been taken. I can't really think of a great catch or a great moment that Australia's created in the field. And like multiple times in this World Cup, the opposition has outfielded Australia, and that is really bizarre. That's really bizarre. That's happened.
We don't cop that in Australia.
Not copping that.
Uncopped.
Next thing, Head not enough. Travis Head batted really nicely. 76 off 43 balls. He hit 9 4s and 4 6s, striking at 176. As I said earlier, he and Mitch Marsh put on 80. Then Head and Maxwell put on another 50 in 5 overs. It was going along nicely when Glenn Maxwell was out. The score was 3 for 128 at the beginning of the 14th over, so 13.1 overs bowled. Stonius couldn't get going. Travis Head felt like the key throughout the innings as it progressed, as wickets kept falling at indeed inconvenient intervals and inconvenient truths.
Al Gore style wickets.
When Travis Head was out, it was 5 for 150 after 16.3 overs. But Travis Head did bat really, really nicely. He took Bumrah down for maybe 15 off his first over, three fours in that. Disrupted his length a little bit. Bumrah finished nicely. He finished 1 for 29 off 4.
Gets him.
And also gets him in the end. So, war battles, that kind of stuff.
I also know Sanjana watches this, so at Jaspreet.
I hate him.
Yeah, which is an Australian affection, right? I absolutely hate him.
I hate the bloke. I cannot stand him. Glenn Maxwell took down Jadeja for 17 off his first over. A couple of reverse sweeps over the 2 backward squares. The 2 backward points. And that was Ravinder Jadeja's last over.
Rajaja.
Yeah, he plays for New Zealand.
That's a reference to something else. Something else. Saying Jadeja's name.
Come to a live show.
Relax.
Travis Head was the key. He batted nicely, but he lacked a bit of support, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Warner goes early. We'll talk about that. Thanks for the memories, Davey. But look, Australia got it to a point where, so I think 200 in the Caribbean, even though it's a fairly flat deck in an IPL style game, it was still going to be a massive effort against the expertise of India's spin. Yeah. They have 8 in the hutch, Australia. It's Maxwell and Head in, probably the 2 most likely guys to take it down at that time, particularly with Head being well established at the crease. But watching the game, like Kuldeep and Axar. If you watch highlights of this game and you see wickets at certain intervals or whatever, it doesn't really speak to the context of those wickets. So many of them came at the back end of the over when they'd built pressure with dots or ones. The guys just couldn't get them away. They didn't have the skill. And I think that's really why it was a deserved victory for India. Their batters up the top against our middle over bowlers, too good. Right, too good. They could take them down. Whereas we didn't have that. Australian players, we call them they when we lose.
That's right.
They didn't have the ability to do that against India's expertise. It's a shout out to Kuldeep and Axar Patel in that situation. Australia's going at 10.8. They need 10.1 and over, and it still just felt like they're not going to be able to find the rope as much as they need to against the skill of this spin to take this close. And so it proved.
Axar and Kuldeep, 7 overs, 3 for 45.
Yeah. Exactly. And then you got Bumrah comes on the 17th. Australia needs to go up 15s.
Yeah, all the best lads.
Tim David's in. That's his job. Like that's Roy Keane style. That's his job. Hell of a job. Like if he pulls it off and just not up to it. That's where Bumrah gets. Head. Probably really they couldn't find that big over against the bowlers, and that's because the bowlers are too good for Australian batters at that time.
Just to highlight it, Tim David, maybe a little bit unfairly, but like he does hit a 6 and a 4 off Arshdeep at the beginning of that over, and then I think it's down to like 40 off 15 or something like that. And then he gets
14. I think
he gets a knee high, knee high to a grasshopper. He gets a knee high full toss. which really should go for 6 in the circumstance. Oh, sorry, needs to. And he manages to nick it to Jasprit Bumrah at short third man.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's standing on the ring, just slaps his hand.
And I think this is where the games have got to. The same with Afghanistan as well. Like when you support a team and you start to squint and go, if only this little thing had turned our way and that thing had turned our way, then maybe we might have been able to make a shake of it. But and when you start doing that, that's when you know the opposition's been better than you.
India's better, yeah.
You know, if Tim David finds the rope 2 more times, which he doesn't, then Australia might have an equation where they can do it. You know,
Right.
If Mitch Marsh wins the toss and bats, you know, on a deck where India might have taken the gas, or Afghanistan in the first game, then Australia might have been able to do something. You know, like if Glenn Maxwell can bat 2 more overs, but they can't. You know, and they consistently can't. If Australia can take these catches, but they don't. It's a deserved loss against a team more complete in these conditions.
Last thing, Bangladesh fans. We're all Bangladesh fans at this point.
To a point, you know, not like so much where Bangladesh smashes Afghanistan, but you know, just between
they just need to win. They need to win and go about it the right way.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, what happens if they can't win themselves? Do they just pack it in? Like if they can't win in the right amount of time?
Start to explore like a Bangladeshi-Afghanistan relations.
Relations, yep.
What are the relations?
Politically, socioeconomically.
Oh, and I've always been a fan of Shakib Al Hassan.
I think he's a stand-up gentleman. I think he's a real bastion of integrity, sportsmanship. You know, if he wants to bring a stopwatch onto the field,
that's
time a couple of blocks out. I'm just saying.
It's not the laws of the game. Just an exponent of the laws, just as we are.
If he wants to kick a couple of stumps over.
Apparently some joke about me and Dhaka traffic knocking around. Never been there. Zero. I don't know where it comes from. These things bubble up from nowhere. But again, as is the right of the commenters to create the narratives when licks need to be taken. Got to accept the licks.
Exactly
I've been to Dhaka and have a problem with the traffic, apparently. All good.
Whatever the fuck that means.
Australia lost. I've got to take the licks.
Yeah. It will most likely be David Warner's last game has just been played. How it works in Australia is the first question what's he like as a bloke? That's just how it works in Australia, rightly or wrongly, mostly wrongly, but at the same time, funnier. So that'll be the first question. But he is, I mean, he's up there with the conversation. Just trying, it'd be him and Shane Watson in terms of the greatest 3 format players to play for Australia. That's obviously a confluence of T20 being a new format. But a Finch would be another one, but Finch only had a short Test career. So, you know, what Warner's contributed good point. Contributed to the Australian cricket team. He's won everything there is to win. Some of those things twice over. It's a new dawn for the Australian cricket team without David Warner there in any of the formats now.
Yeah, I think there's a generation of players who will now be moved on from the white ball setup. I don't think they're going to carry the nucleus of the side through the Champions Trophy. So, and I do think that in the fullness of time, despite this absolute disgrace of a capitulation, which essentially erases all of the good work they've ever done,
I think so.
In cricket,
heads must roll.
There is another argument that a lot of them could sit back and go, well, we won 2 ODI World Cups and a T20 World Cup, pretty good result, on top of some World Test Championship cricket and stuff like that.
And held the Ashes for 10 years.
And held the Ashes, and now is not the time to speak rationally about those things and to show gratitude. They might sit around and have a beer and delude themselves that they've been good players. Today's the day for royal commissions and, as I said earlier, belts and tangerines, right? And cry wanking.
Yes.
You know, today's the day. My view will change on that if Bangladesh get a result in a couple of hours. Australia's $1 to win the World Cup. Yeah. They're $1 if Bangladesh do us a favour.
Yeah.
But you're right. David Warner goes down as one of the greatest white ball players in Australian history, if not the greatest. Definitely in the conversation around a water cooler, which you shouldn't use too much for climate change reasons, especially during the summer. So, in the fullness of time, I think the guys will be happy with their haul during white ball cricket, and I think a whole bunch of them will be put out to pasture like cows and horses who offer nothing the farm anymore, and we get some new blood in and start to critique them.
At the moment, I feel like most of these guys should end up in a glue factory. They should be taken to they're all horses. They should go out there, be shot.
Some of them might be teaser horses or be regarded as justices of the peace. Horse version. Come out and tease other horses. Tease a stallion into a full-blown erection in order to start breeding new race horses. It's a brutal sport, isn't it? Two ODI World Cups and 1 T20 World Cup that a lot of people watching this channel could only dream of. And now we're saying, put them out the pasture.
What a bunch of fuckwits.
Absolute fuckwits.
I hate them.
Yeah. I'm sexually humiliating myself in the shower. And they're now being put out to stud.
Yeah, to stud.
Right, to stud Fraser McGurk, etc. I hope he's been studded.
Yeah. Hashtag AskTGC.
Here we go.
Thanks for joining us. All right. What do we got here, Chuck? Hashtag AskTGC. It's 4:40 in the morning. Why haven't you uploaded the video yet?
Already answered that because of what we've been doing. We've both been in the shower together, a non-partition shower, masturbating each other while crying.
It won't help anyone, especially the people watching this video, to know that no one in Australia has watched this World Cup.
Don't reveal. That's not what people. This is showbiz.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
That's a good point.
I think the back page of the Melbourne papers today is about whether AFL should have Origin. It's a picture of Tony Lockett, the Big V, and Jason Dunstall. Or no, Dermot Brereton, sorry.
I was watching morning television this morning. There was not a single mention of the game that happened overnight.
But this is people go, I see. You don't care about the humiliation you've just suffered sexually. Sorry, the humiliation you've just suffered.
Next. Do I hear you farting? Oh no, those are groans of atonement. Thank you, Super Tuber.
Dunked on again.
Yeah.
Once again. Woke up this morning, kids came in. Guys, I'm getting dunked on today online by some of the greatest wordsmiths known to man. Is that farting? No, it's groans of atonement. It doesn't make sense. But look at that. That's salt from me.
Yeah.
Got to take it. Licks.
And look,
toads.
there is a time and a place to talk about that nothing will ever change what happened on November 19.
No,
there is.
Today's not
the day. I'm just saying, today's not the day.
Today's not the day for that.
That's what I'm saying.
The day to compare...
We are punching bags.
That's right. The day to compare humiliations is after India definitely wins this World Cup.
Have won the World Cup. Congratulations on winning the World Cup, India. You've done it. Just the best team.
And then we can be like, which World Cup win was better? But today's not that day.
Which would you have preferred?
Today's not the day.
No, it's not that. Next. Humiliation loading.
Sexually. Tangerine.
Yep. Next. Ryan says, is this conclusive evidence that Mother Cricket doesn't give a fuck about T20s? England through the finals and Australia are about to bow out in the Super 8s. Bush Horse was right. Bush Horse alluding to the elite Bush Horse, Josh Hazlewood, who has played a wonderful game today. He's alluding there to should Australia have taken a dive, against Scotland to knock out their foes, England?
I don't know. Eye of the beholder, really. I think a lot of people are happy with Mother Cricket this morning. A lot of people are thinking Mother Cricket has done her job today. She's done a shift.
Yeah.
She's putting the shift today.
Putting the shift in.
That's right. And skived off a few shifts last year and in the previous years.
Yeah.
But Mother Cricket, again, always all-knowing, all-powerful. A lot of people will be like, putting a great shift today.
Why is Jay Shah Mother Cricket?
Very harsh to feminise him, isn't it?
Well,
I think Mother Cricket gives a big fuck about T20s this tournament.
Especially that semi-final against India. That's going to rain with no reserve day. Well, we'll be back in a couple of hours. Click subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for joining us here on the channel. It's been a good fun. To toast Afghanistan's success or Bangladesh.
Yep.
If they chase it in the right amount of time, you know what? We'll be here and you'll be here as well, laughing at us once again. It's a hell of a day for TGC. We are the punching bags. Please do punch. Please do punch. See you later.